Everybody, and welcome to episode 69 of Daisy Knits. We're going to try this again. Doorbell went off a few minutes ago. Dog went nuts. Very loud. Anyways, we'll see if I can nail this again. I have a bit to share with y'all today, and I have a victory celebration. Do you see these? Boom. Do you see that? This is my Sock Madness socks. They are done. I got everything turned in on time, and so I qualified to continue to round 2. Go me! I'm super excited about that, and a little apprehensive, to be honest. I just committed myself to another round of this, but they are done. They have a strong heel in them, which actually Little Man really, really likes, and the pattern called for a gathered, I think they called it a gathered toe. He calls it an elf toe because of how big it is. It's too big for his foot. But for the game, you have to have it so long. You had to have so many repeats. And so I had to hit that marker, and then I'll frog them back to make them fit him. All the stitch markers are showing, they're counting pattern repeats all the way down. Does that make sense? I hope so. But I do want to show, because of the pattern, it causes the whole fabric to spiral, skew. So beginning of the round's here, and you can watch it just pull all the way around. So, but I am proud of these. They're done. I think round 1 finished today. I actually finished these on Tuesday, so I had a little bit of time, but round 1 finished, I think today, this morning at this afternoon at 2. And then everybody gets shuffled and placed into teams, and I have no idea when round 2 starts. I guess I might need to pay attention to that, but these are done. I had not even 100 yards left of my ball. I weighed everything, so they used quite a bit of yardage, but I am proud they are done. Yay! The yarn is from High Fiber Diet when she was dyeing, from Coggy, and the pattern is called Twisted Madness. So, putting those away, they are done. Happy dance, happy dance. So after I finished that, I came back to my Pure Joy. Do I remember my Pure Joy? I do, because it is gorgeous and lovely, and I want to knit. I'm actually doing, this is like a slow knit. I'm pacing myself quite a bit because, do you see that color? I love staring at that color. Oh, anyways, I have finished wedge 1, 2, and 3. I just finished wedge 3 the other night, and I really like this pattern. I do have to look to remind myself, okay, what am I doing in a round or 2? But for the actual wedges, it's really fairly easy for me to remember. I love this pattern. So the yarn is Long Stockings by Dramatic Knits. And then the pink is called One Hot Mama from Fiber Nymph on her bedazzled base. So you got all those beautiful sparkles and speckles in there. Love it. And they are really playing so nicely together. I am super, super happy with this. So that is this is my chocolate knitting right now. I just love it. And I'm absorbing and soaking it up. I only really knit on it when I want to sit there and I can pay attention to my colors. I love it. So, the other knitting I do have, though, is that test knit. I know I showed y'all back in January. I started it mid-January, and then in February it got set aside because the designer had some things he was working out. Poor Josh had to... His math was slightly compromised, and there was some yardage issues and some things like that. So he went back through, and he ended up actually almost, I don't want to say redesigning, because from what I can see of how far I've knit, he didn't redesign it as much as he narrowed down the math. So the stitch count's very different. But what that meant for me was I had to frog. And I frogged all the way back to the beginning because it was easier. So I picked this back up again, and I am now back up to here, I'm getting ready to add on my next color and do this color transition part. That's where I'm at. And I have to say, this is like the coolest invention ever. I have a card somewhere for it, but I couldn't find it because I use it. It's a needle minder. So it's got like a little, oh, let me see. It's got a little end cap in there with a slit. And I shove my needles in and nothing slides off. I gotta tell you right now, this thing has been super handy. Because I don't know why, but I feel like the dog is adamant about crawling into my bag with this yarn lately. Him and I have been fighting. So, anyways, this is current project. It is on size 4s, and all the yarn is out of our shop yarn. They're all different bases and different colorways that come from our shop. So, that is all of my knitting right now. I'm playing with it now, I'm sorry. Anyways, that is my knitting. That's what I have going on as far as active knitting. Master Knitter has had some forward progress, but nothing that y'all see. I have been reading my books, and what I do is I read my books, and then I have a spiral bound notebook and I take notes. And this week I took all of my notes and started actually compiling them into paragraphs. Like, I know that sounds kind of silly, but what I did was each page was a different book in my notebook, and I just made little bulletin like points. Okay, this idea or this concept or this fact from this book, and then I turn the page and do another book. So now I'm taking all of those and I'm trying to put them in some kind of semblance of order and chronological. So that's what I'm working on Master Knitter wise. Nothing that you guys really are probably very excited about, but that's what's going on there. The other thing is I do want to do a shout out real quick. I don't normally, talk about other podcasters, not that I don't listen to them, I just normally don't, but I do want to do a shout out to Natalie, barknknit on Ravelry. She is the hostess of Mastering the Knit podcast. It is an audio podcast. Her and Alicia they hosted previously. It has been on hiatus for over a year now, and Natalie rebooted it going solo. Alicia will come on when she can, but right now Natalie is kind of forging ahead. She has picked up all of her Master Knitter stuff again, and I want to do a shout out to her because that is a lot of work to come back to it after being gone for over a year. So I want to do a huge shout out. I'm super proud of you, Natalie. Come on. And I want to, if you're interested in following a podcast that's specifically about mastering the knits and things like that, go over and check her out. I think you might enjoy it. That's really all I have to share with you today. All my contact information is at the end. My Instagram account is private, but I'm happy to let you in if I know you're a knitter. Other than that, hit me up any questions you have, and I'll chat at you later. See ya!